Hello, everyone, and welcome back for another short segment of Retirement Essentials. In today's short video, I want to share with you the reality of 2020 and the reason why now is the time to implement some of your tax planning. So join me here as we cover a couple of things that have changed in 2020 with the tax reform and the CARES Act and how it will impact your planning options. We'll see you there. Hello again, Facebook listeners. This is Devin, RICP again. I want to follow up with you on another Facebook post. And I've been trying to stay very active here because I think there's so much information going out in social media, in the news, and honestly, I believe all of our heads are just spinning a little bit. And so I wanted to share a little bit of insight into some tax planning. Now, you might be thinking, Devin, tax planning in the midst of the chaos that we're experiencing is the least of my worries and the smallest thing that I want to really worry about. But I want to share with you a couple of significant reasons why tax planning for your retirement plans right now is extremely valuable and extremely impactful. So for many of you that follow me on Facebook or are part of our podcast or part of our academy or client, you know that paying the least amount of taxes as possible is a bit of a passion for mine. Now, obviously, we want to be legal and pay our fair share of taxes. However, inside of a retirement plan, especially in a time right now where your retirement plan balances are dropping, finding savings inside of your retirement finances has never been more important than it is right here and right now. And so in this Facebook Live, I want to share with you a little bit of insight into the timing that you're sitting in front of right now within the market and the opportunities that I do not want you to let go by. At the end of this Facebook Live, I do want to share with you access to my retirement taxation masterclass that went live in March, beginning of the month. We had a 4-day window where we had several students sign up to join that March class. And I want to share with you a little bit how that's going inside this Facebook Live. But what I want to share with you right here and now is a couple of windows of opportunity for tax planning that are relatively short. So the first thing that I want to mention, many of you have probably seen this in the news, but your tax filing deadline has moved from April 15th to July 15th. So that's wonderful for all of us business owners that or 1099 employees that pay out-of-pocket taxes. That's that many more months that we don't have to pay our taxes. However, one significant impact that has made is it's also extended the HSA and Roth IRA and IRA contribution deadline to July 15th as well. So that's that many more months that we have an opportunity to make a decision of, is it a good idea to contribute into my Roth IRA or my HSA for the 2019 contribution, essentially opening up a very valuable window for all of you, and not only my retiree listeners, but also my younger clients. Or younger friends here on Facebook or younger followers, if you're considering at all putting into your Roth IRA or IRA when the markets are so low, it might be wise to consider that. Obviously, I'm not your advisor. I can't tell you to do that or not. However, just consider putting those contributions into a discounted market where we're at today and what that might grow to towards your retirement. So great time to put funds into the market, into a Roth or a traditional IRA that's more of a long-term investment. So the windows of opportunity that I wanted to mention was the tax filing date, and that also extending the IRA contribution or HSA contribution deadline all the way to July 15th. And then this next one's not very new, but it does shake things up quite a bit. And so for all of you that are close to retirement or into retirement, you're very, very familiar with this required minimum distribution deadline that what used to be at your age 70 and a half, meaning that all of your 401k, 403b, TSP, IRA contributions that you've tax deferred over all these years, once you turn 70 and a half, then you're required to start pulling those out and being fully taxed on those distributions. However, on December, just about 4 months ago in December, Congress passed the Secure Act of 2019, which extended that RMD age requirement to the age of 72 for those of you that had not turned 70 and a half as of the end of 2019. Now, why do I mention that on a Facebook Live like this? The reason why I mention that is a few more years that's added on to this amazing window of opportunity between today and the year that you turn 72, that you have to do some tax planning, specifically Roth conversion planning, to be able to maximize the potentially lower brackets now and reduce the potentially higher brackets that will come when retirement is closer to you. And so I wanted to mention that as a window of opportunity to keep in mind. The last window of opportunity that I want to mention here today was the reality that in 2008's Trump tax reform changed or reduced all of our tax rates, younger or older, all of our tax rates across the boards. But those reduced tax rates actually expire on December 31st of 2025. And so the reason why that's such a beneficial window of opportunity to mention here as you're stepping into and improving some of your taxes is this idea that if taxes are going to go up in a few years, would it make sense to maximize the potentially lower tax brackets today? Absolutely, absolutely. And so now that you have a couple more months until your tax filings, it would absolutely be wise to sit down and figure out how much you have left in your current tax bracket, whether that's a 10%, 12%, 22%, 24% or above. Determine how much you have left in this tax bracket, and then determine, would it make sense to maximize that tax bracket for 2020 so that you protect yourself against higher tax brackets later. So those are these 4 windows of opportunity that I think are so powerful, and this current situation has given us a few more months to figure out, that I wanted to mention. And the impact of why those are so important is that the lost opportunity cost for you as a pre-retiree, close to retiree, or retiree at this point, is this reality that you're possibly paying a lower tax bracket now, and the opportunity cost is you not paying a lower tax rate now and having to pay a higher tax rate later if you're not aware of it. So absolutely get aware of your tax brackets here and in the future. Another reality is, and a lost opportunity cost is, if you don't do some tax planning now, you're possibly locking yourself into an increased Social Security tax percentage later on. And so jumping on now, understanding that now, potentially just in Social Security taxes, might save you thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars in the future. So absolutely a lost opportunity cost if you don't jump on some planning. Another lost opportunity cost would be the ability to reduce your future RMDs. Now, why is that important? Your RMDs that come out later in retirement are 100% taxable income to you. That at that point bumps you up potentially into a higher tax bracket, and as well as increasing the percentage of your Social Security that's taxed. So we don't want high RMDs. And the last one that I want to mention was the potentiality of increasing tax-free income from any sort of Roth IRA account. If you can move money at a lower rate into a Roth IRA now and have that grow for the next 5 to 10 years, and then use those funds in retirement as tax-free income, that can be so powerful to reduce your future taxes. So my aim and my goal here is to really share with you a couple of these things, and so you can understand there are ways that you can reduce this year's taxes through some charitable giving planning, and then also reduce even more significantly your future income taxes if you're wise. So the solution for that, as a consultant, as an advisor, is pretty complex. As I see people work with their CPAs and with their advisors, it's pretty complex. However, I have created a digital masterclass called a Retirement Taxation Masterclass that, because of the current health and financial crisis, I've actually opened up early my April class for registration. And so if you want to click on the link here in this Facebook Live, it's brighterwealthacademy.com/RTM, or Retirement Taxation Masterclass. That will lead you to a registration page. Inside of that Retirement Taxation Masterclass, we can help you walk through all of these windows of opportunities that I just mentioned, as well as maximize all of these opportunities and reduce the opportunity cost within your retirement. So I encourage you to go on and check that out. Now is the time for tax planning. I know, like I mentioned at the beginning, it's very hard for us to pull our head out of the sand or bring it down from out of the clouds and see this quarantine for what it is, see the coronavirus for what it is, the crash into the stock market, the day-to-day wondering if our cities or our states are going to be shut down. If you're here locally in the Wasatch Front, it's these earthquakes that keep coming. There's a lot of distractions that are absolutely consuming our lives, and it's very unnerving. I'm right there with you, abso-frickin-lutely. But I'm telling you that now is absolutely the time to wrap your head around some tax planning. So this digital course that we've created that you can have access to is something that can be completed in the comfort of your own home. If you're self-quarantining yourself or your family and you can't leave or go to work, lock yourself in your home office, lock yourself in your bedroom, or pull up a chair in your kitchen counter and register for this taxation masterclass and walk through step by step through educational consulting videos and worksheets and PDFs, understanding what your tax brackets are now and what you can do to improve upon where you're at. Because I tell you this, with your accounts shrinking and your retirement having many more questions than it's ever had before, I promise you that if you can seek to not only improve your returns and have less risk, which all of us are still trying to do inside of our portfolios, but also with more certainty, add tax savings or reduce the taxes in the future, both sides of the coin, both a penny earned and a penny saved, can really add together for a successful retirement. So thanks for letting me jump on here and share briefly a little bit about that. Again, click on the link, brighterwealthacademy.com/RTM, to check out the access for the masterclass. We are looking forward to that, and we will see you there. Thanks, guys.